relationships, trauma, philosophy. Relationships, trauma, philosophy. Balls Deep.
Welcome to episode 34 of the Balls Deep podcast.
How exciting. Episode 34.
Yes, it might be the worst episode yet.
What makes you say that, Scott?
Lots of things.
Go on, why?
Too many things that I could possibly roll off here, so I'll just get into the episode instead.
Okay.
But it can only go up if it starts as the worst, can't it?
Well, absolutely, yes.
So if we start as the worst, and we'll go up to the best by the end.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan. Well, episode 34, technically we are still in Oman, but when this comes out, we'll be in Saudi. Well, I'll be in Vegas. I'll be in Vegas, of all places, for a work event, not to get pissed. Off to see Flow Rider. Basically, I'm off to Vegas to see Flow Rider on Valentine's Day, while Shelby spends her time alone in Saudi Arabia. Do not share this with her mother.
I'm literally not going to tell my mum that you're doing it.
Yeah, she'd be furious.
She'd be livid with you.
Would she actually?
Would
she actually be livid?
I don't think she'd be livid. I think she'd be...
Don't say disappointed.
I'm not going to say disappointed. I think she'd be... Oh, what emotion I think she'd feel? That's an interesting... I think primarily I think she'd just be worried for me. And I think that worry would be misplaced. Is that the right word? Like, I don't think she needs to worry about it. It's not, what I mean?
What's the feeling towards me?
Feeling towards you. Shock.
Shock.
Probably. I think she'd be shocked that you're leaving me in Saudi Arabia to go to Las Vegas.
And then what comes after shock?
Disbelief.
Come on, you gotta get to an eventual emotion. You get over the shock eventually, and then you sit on one of the emotions for a while.
What's the word? Not anger. How do I think she'd
Just as long as you don't say disappointed.
No, she won't be disappointed in you.
My whole life, people have been disappointed.
No, that is not true. Stop.
One big disappointment. But aren't we
Scott's
all?
being ridiculous now. No.
Aren't we all?
We're not going down that route.
My brother was a mistake. At least I don't have that looming over me.
Stop it.
No, it's awful. I shouldn't say it. My dad lets him know on a regular basis.
That's horrible.
Well, he's a bit of a... My dad's great.
This is such a depressing episode.
No, he's just... my dad is very... he didn't... Next topic.
So about my mother's disappointment in you. No, she shouldn't be disappointed in you. I think she'd be annoyed and confused.
Annoyed, there we go. That's what I was trying
annoyed.
to get to. She's going to be pissed off. Well, I'm not hanging out at Flow Ride on Valentine's Day. I am actually going for a work event. We won't get into it, it's all boring, but I travel a bit for work, and there's a big event called Manifest. If you're in the tech world, you'll know about it. So Vegas is a fun place. And there we go. We'll go. I'll go. I will actually. I won't be partying up like you might think. I will be working solidly all day.
Well, Scott, you just, for the first time ever on the podcast, disclosed your location where you'll be at a certain time. What if somebody from the pod comes and finds you?
Well, good luck, because this event brings in I don't know, something like 100 to 300,000 people a day.
Okay.
So, good luck. Well, there is an exact location I could give you, actually, because we're running an event there. But anyway.
You're such a
small, closed event about AI, if you're interested. But anyway, I'm not going to show it, because then the thousands of listeners will come and it'll spoil the event.
Absolutely.
It won't spoil it for me, but it might ruin the point of the event.
you'll pull focus.
Yeah, it's not a piss up. It's a business driven thing, but all very boring, so don't worry. Anyway.
Yeah, and I've got to be honest, I think that I'd rather be in Saudi Arabia than the United States.
I can assure you, you will be having a much more stress-free, relaxing, fun time Mine will be getting up at 6 a.m. and pitching all day, running around an exhibition centre every single day from 6 a.m, pitching everyone, barely eating, and then finishing around 10.
I'm not happy about that part. You need to eat.
And then getting sleep, and then doing it. We'll do it 3 times in a row, plus doing nearly a 24-hour flight, getting there and back as well. So that is the reality of what it is.
4 a.m.
Exactly, getting back to you at 4 a.m. So it might sound like glitz and glamour, and whilst I do enjoy that part of my job, it's not easy. So yeah, there we go. But anyway, I think we should just end what we were talking about on the last podcast. We were talking about a very feminism, very woman, go woman power episode, which I believe we've done I know we've done a feminism episode in the past.
Yeah, I feel like feminism is entrenched in what we do. Or we are entrenched in feminism. Is that the correct word?
We are feminists.
Well, we are feminists, yeah. And I appreciate you saying that. But it's true, we are. And that doesn't mean, for the listener, doesn't mean that we think that women are superior to men at all.
No, God knows, that's not the ethics. Even though some people will present it like that because they have a misunderstanding of feminism, it's not that. It's about equality.
Yeah, totally.
About equal.
Exactly that.
And being fair. So, but I say that because there's something that we didn't touch on, which we have many stories on, is men telling women how to park a car. And that, everyone can go, oh yeah, that does happen a lot. But in recent times, this has happened to me twice. And I'm not a woman. And this has happened to me twice. No, it happened to me 3 times in the space of a few weeks. And I hated every single time.
Yeah. It was the first one in
Dubai.
In Dubai when we parked in the hotel for the first time.
Yeah, the place where they said to park, but apparently is where the delivery area, and we were going to get charged for it, even though everyone said to us, yeah, that's the right place.
Yeah.
And then the next one, like, oh no, that's wrong. We're going to have to charge you. But luckily, the guy who managed the car park was like, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
He was very nice, actually.
He was lovely.
He was Iraqi, right? I can't remember his name. He had a nice name.
Yeah, it was
I remember
like
he's from Iraq.
Or
he's
something
called
like
Shah, and he was a very, very lovely man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was super nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, when we pulled into that car park, and so Scott and I have something really beautiful about our relationship is that we balance each other out, and like where one of us has weakness, the other one has strength. Scott has real enjoyment for driving and doesn't mind driving motorways, long distances, all that, which I don't enjoy doing. But I am. Would you agree that I'm the stronger parker?
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
And I'm not a great parker, but I do think I'm all right, to be honest. I'm not very good at parallel parking, but bay parking I've got locked down.
You can parallel park though. I can't.
Yeah, yeah, I suppose. Like Scott will drive for an extra 30 minutes if it means finding a proper
because
park.
I've gone from passing my test in my early 20s to never driving a car, sporadically on the odd holiday, to 10 years later driving a car full time.
Yeah.
So I picked up the car in a couple of hours. I was confident with it, so that was fine. But all the manoeuvres are the complicated bit. Mm-hmm. And I just haven't spent time on it. So I just can't remember how you spin the wheel and how you manipulate it, and being dyslexic and many other things. I just get very confused with left is right, right is left, and this does this. And it just, all I need is a couple hours just in a car park. I go, oh yeah, I remember. It'll come to me, I just haven't spent time on it.
Yeah, totally.
So now I go off. And every time you bay park, it's on a high street with everyone behind you.
Oh yeah, totally. And you've always like holding up traffic, you get pipped, and it's a right nightmare, isn't it? But yeah, when we were trying to park in the hotel, so Scott started it, and then like he got it in a position. I think you're like close to one of the cars, or some guys were trying to get in their car, weren't they? That were parked next to the spot that we were in.
Well, no one was stood up. No, I came in.
Yeah.
No one was near our car.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, once we started parking, everyone was stood at our car.
Yeah.
There was no
It was
one.
like a group of 5 men at least.
Yeah, like 3 lads came from over the dodgy, parlour. And then we had Shahad, lovely guy. They were all lovely, actually, but it just... So now, and it's in a dark, not very well lit car park. So suddenly there's this, we've got like 5... And then there's another guy who's going to show us to the hotel. So there was 5 men just stood around our car.
Yeah.
I didn't know why they were all stood around our car.
Yeah.
And I was like, why are they all just staring? Why are they all just one by one coming over? Like, we've not asked them for their help. And they're all just there looking at me.
Yeah.
And it, like, how is that help? It makes you feel so uncomfortable.
Doesn't it? Which, like, you didn't realise that, I don't know if I know at this point or not, but the reason they were stood there was because the car next to the space we were trying to park in was their car and they were about to leave. But that wasn't obvious at all at that moment.
I didn't realise that.
And then Scott, I think you got frustrated because everyone was like just staring, and you're like, "Will you park it?" Because I think you got it like close to the car. Or
I got it very close to the car.
And I needed to reverse out, and we were like, so I had to like climb in the passenger side and climb across the seat, and then like I was reversing it out, and they were lovely and really helpful. Normally, it irritates me when men try and tell me how to park, but I was worried about hitting the car, and I was also worried about hitting like the bit of curb that was on the other side. And so they were like directing me like, right, okay, go straight back, like slightly turn it, like they're telling me which way and everything to turn to get it out. And then once I'd finally got it out, the guy was like, do you want me to park it for you? I was like, yeah, go on then. If you don't mind.
Yeah.
I won't say no. I'd rather that than have 5 men watch me and direct me how to park it.
And that's, and you made the right decision there, and he put it straight and But what's even more annoying about it is when there's more than one person, they all say different things.
Yeah.
Like, how is that? Now you're all staring at me, and you all tell me different things all at the same time.
Yeah.
I hate it. So I really I feel the pain of women.
Yeah, because that, to clarify, happens all the time to women. Like, my mum has been driving since she was 17. She's been driving close to... Like, she's been driving 45, 50 years. Something like that. How old is she? Yeah, she's 60. Coming up 65. So she's been driving since she was 17. And she'll have men, literally, like, in the 20s and 30s. But like, oh, go on, love, you're all right. Right hand down. Keep going. Reverse. You're all right. You got plenty of speed. You got a couple of meters. You're all right. She's like, fuck. I've been parking longer than you've been living,
That's
mate.
Brutal.
And she's a very good parker, to be clear. She's just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that would really grind my gears.
But my dad, like, when I'm reversing or whatever, my dad just like flaps his arms like he's signaling a plane. Like this, right? Yeah. Like just swishing his arm around like this, and they're like, I was like, if you just move and I can look in my mirrors instead of. They mean well, but it's an irritating thing that there is, I guess, an assumption and maybe a stereotype that women can't park. I don't know, but it's certainly not the case in our relationship, is it?
No, you're the stronger parker and I'm the stronger driver.
I've not agreed to that point yet.
What do you mean you haven't agreed?
You're
this is what we've just established.
We have, yeah.
Do you agree with that? We have to get this on the pod now. If you, there's going to be.
I agree that you're the better motorway driver.
Okay, so that's half tick. What's the other half you're unwilling to accept? Well, that I'm
overall
not as good at
driver.
So you don't think I'm as good as you on country roads?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like I know them.
You know the country roads that we
Well,
drive.
no, wait. What do I don't know, because I feel like... No, you probably are.
Am I or aren't I?
You don't drive how I would drive.
Because I drive better. That's what you're trying to say.
One thing I can say with absolute certainty is you're much better at making the quick decisions and recognising what is the correct way to go and changing lanes, and all that. I guess my issue with your driving is I think that you're a little bit more reckless than I am.
Not reckless, confident.
Well, let's just say that
That you?
I don't get in people's boots.
What?
I feel like you're like a... How would I describe it? Because you are a very good driver. But I think that you are a more confident driver than I am. But what I mean is you'll get a lot closer to cars than I will, and you'll zip around them a lot more than I would. So
I always
yes,
leave
I would say
quite
that
a large gap though when I'm driving.
not always.
Not if I'm whizzing past them, but like just generally driving. I don't like to be close near cars. I always leave 2-car distances.
Yeah.
I'm always like make a point of that because I want that extra distance if there was a crash.
Oh, well, I wouldn't say that's my experience on our last drive.
What drive was that?
Where did we go? Niswa. I felt like you were quite close to the cars. But
They were close to me. They were flashing me. They were beeping me.
they were, yeah.
I was the one going slower and having to move out of the way for everyone because no one was going the speed limit.
That's true.
It was a beat. They were behind me. No, I would disagree with that.
Okay. We can disagree with that one. But yeah, no, I would say that I think I'm an anxious passenger, aren't I? I'm not a very good passenger at all. Like
You're not as bad as your brother.
Why? What's my brother like, Scott?
I mean, I've never in my life experienced more of a backseat driver than your brother.
I'm surprised you don't reach over and take the wheel.
I couldn't even compute what was going on. It was that bad. You know what annoys me with the people who go that far with it, and I love you, brother, but you know, the people who go that far with it is they're convinced they know better than Google Maps.
Sometimes people do.
They don't. That's the point of Google Maps.
No, baby.
Is it knows it can even know where there's blockages, which you can't predict. It even knows that.
Right, but
Every
a note
time.
on that. How many times have we gone wrong?
This time that I'm referring to,
Yeah.
the way that he recommended, was it faster?
I don't know. I can't remember.
No, it wasn't. It added like 5 minutes, and he did it on the way back, and it added like an extra 5 minutes both times.
Okay.
Why would maps lie to you? I agree, it's not going to be 100%, but it's going to be a lot more damn accurate than you are.
I don't know. Yeah. But we're a family of backseat drivers. Let's put it like that.
I don't know, your mum was quiet when I drove.
Probably same prayers. She hates being a passenger.
No, at the end she even complimented me for my driving.
Oh, that's nice.
And that nutter drove in front of me, didn't he? You know, when I was driving you, my mum, and your mum, we were driving down a dark country road, and this car just decided to pull onto our lane. It was just, two-way traffic. And I had to proper pull the car out of the way. He proper came over. We were going to hit him. And she commended me for safety dealing with that.
Well done.
So I think your mum likes my driving. But yeah, sorry. Shelby's brother.
I'm pretty sure we've named our siblings on this before.
What can I name it?
Yeah.
Sorry, Miguel. Yes, Michael.
Yeah, but we are a family of backseat drivers. I think we've all got control issues. I think that's the thing.
I've got control issues. But
I'm a really
in the back. I'm easy cheesy.
Yeah, but
unless I think you're putting me in danger.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna. I'm gonna fall asleep.
Yeah, but this is the trouble. I always think I'm in danger.
I'm right.
Don't I?
Yeah, you do.
Do you know what I mean? I'm like, and you're like, will you stop?
Oh, my was bad for that.
But I can't help it. No, I mean in the car. You know, when you're driving and I go,
yeah.
When you're like, oh my God. And you're like,
we reversed the other day in IKEA car park, gently knocked the curb, and you went, and then I drove forward because I'll explain to you why this happened, and then I did it again. And you went, and I'm like, what? We're not fucking on a 60-mile-an-hour collision. We've just knocked a curb with the tire.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because Shelby directed me to go out of the... So obviously there's an entry and an exit, and she directed me to go out the car park through the entry, and then I had to do this rally reversing, out of this windy road, all reversed, and it was a bit difficult.
Can I just say, I didn't direct you. What directed you? Google Maps.
No, you directed. You said it that way.
Google Maps.
No, Google Maps didn't. We were in IKEA car park.
IKEA's great. Love it.
IKEA is great.
Yeah.
I haven't been there for maybe 10 years.
Mm.
I can't.
That's wild.
I don't see. I've had no reason to go out. Yeah.
It's a day out for me. I absolutely love it. I would look at every item in every room.
I can see why.
It's so much fun. Sadly, I don't think that the Oman IKEA has the vegan options that are available widely in most IKEAs, like in the UK. But I really want you to take me on a date to IKEA when we're back.
Yeah, I was quite up for eating in there, but then we checked, didn't we? And they had the hot dogs, but they weren't vegano, so...
Yeah. Because they even have vegan meatballs and vegan ice cream, like soft serve ice cream, in the UK.
Well, that's impressive.
Yeah, so we could go have a hot dog, some meatballs, and an ice cream.
That sounds like an IKEA day out. Well, when we buy a house, then we'll do it.
No, before that, it's fun.
Okay. Get some new doors or something for your mum.
Yeah.
We'll do it. But we have been trying to speak about this one thing for the last 3 episodes, and we've got so much to say about it. So we're doing it now, and that is Ferrari World and Warner Brothers in Dubai.
Oh, yes. What a great day that was. So it's only is it an hour and a half, I think, drive from Dubai to Abu Dhabi?
Yeah, if that. It can, depending where you are in Dubai, it can be an hour. Yeah. I think it's about an hour 15 for us because we're a bit further.
Yes, because what we did was we got a taxi to the airport to pick up the rental car and then drove straight to the theme park.
And we did that. We just rented the car for the weekend because if you added up the cost of the taxi, it would have been way more expensive. And we used the car the next day anyway for some other things as well.
We did, and then it got us to the airport and everything. Although, annoying thing about Dubai Airport, if you're not flying out of Terminal 2, I think it is. No, Terminal 1 or 3.
3 was the one we were flying out of.
Whatever terminal
you can only drop the car off at Terminal 2 and 1. So if you're flying out of Terminal 3 and you've got a car, you can basically drop it off at Terminal 2. You could drop it off at Terminal 1, but that won't make sense.
I don't think you can. I think you can pick them up from... I think there's only one drop-off point.
No, I think you can drop... Well, either way, Terminal 3, you cannot drop off or pick up a car.
And it may as well be in Abu Dhabi, to be fair.
And it may as well be in Abu Dhabi. It's not like, just get the shuttle. You've got to get a There's not even a shuttle for it. I think it got discontinued.
I think they used to be, yeah. I think COVID times destroyed it, but...
Which is shocking for an airport.
Yeah.
That's really surprised that every airport has trams or shuttle buses like that. Really surprised me.
You'd think of all places, Dubai, very advanced, would have that.
I was surprised by that.
Yeah, so that was a ball dropping it off. So just be mindful of that, when you're renting a car.
Yeah, factor that time in.
And where you drop it off as well, taxis aren't supposed to stop and pick you up. It was just because one of the guys working there took pity on us and he got permission off the police.
Literally, yeah.
One taxi stopped and he was like, no, I need the police to come and tell me in person. And the security guard was like, no, I've checked the police, it's fine. And he was like, no police, not happening. And then the next guy stopped and it was fine. But that was a special request.
Yeah, otherwise, probably had to go down and up and left and right because everything's always in every direction in the airport. But Ferrari World and Warner Brothers, you can do a double ticket. So it's something like £70 for one or £85 for two.
Yeah.
So we thought, may as well do 2. You can literally walk between them. There's a shuttle bus, but it's a 15-minute walk. And they're both inside, so it's worth the walk. And from outside, they look incredible.
Yeah.
And we started with Ferrari World, didn't we?
We did. So our ticket actually required that we entered Ferrari World first. I don't know if there's one that... it doesn't matter, but for ours, we had to go to Ferrari World first, and it doesn't matter how long you spend in there. You could spend most of the day there, part of the day there before going to your second park, but as long as we had to scan our tickets and remember which finger we used to get in the park.
Yeah, a lot of technology, both face scanning and fingerprints.
Yeah, we got 20% off food as well because I signed up to the Yas Island. Yeah, so basically giving away my identity to
Be some
the
AI bot that's going to use that.
Yeah.
You think it's for buying habits, don't you?
I do, yeah. I think it's like for them to... It's like they scan your face when you purchase stuff, and you can even pay that way, like Face ID, if you connect your card. But
That's
I think
crazy.
it's maybe like a marketing, like research data.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, because then if they say, right, okay, this person who looks like they're maybe from this place, or, you know, we've got, they're going to know a lot about me, aren't they? They're going to know my name, they're going to know my date of birth, they're going to know my nationality from signing up to the app, my email address.
They could just Google search your face and they'd find your LinkedIn, they'd find your social media accounts, everything.
Yeah, exactly. Freaky, innit? Like, so
You don't
yeah,
even
they know
need, anyone can do that. You don't need any software. You can Google search images.
yeah, just like reverse
Yeah,
image
just
search.
reverse it. So, like, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So it'll be easy for an AI tool to do that.
Well, that's my identity on bit. Hey,
So
hey.
yeah, so they'll get way more information than what you actually provided.
Yeah, totally. All for 20% off a meal.
20% off a meal.
We do sell our souls for such little
Yeah.
reward. But yeah, Ferrari World was very interesting. What I found, so it was great overall, but I would say
Start with a good.
start with the good. It was really impressive visually. Like, you know, you're seeing all, like Scott said, it's all inside. It's an indoor theme park, so it's air-conned, so it's
Which
really
is
comfortable.
great for how hot Dubai can get.
Absolutely. It'd be a great, I mean, Yas Island in general, there's so much to do and it's all inside.
It's cool, yeah. It's got some cool things.
And yeah, there's so many like old Ferraris there. Like you can see parts of the roller coaster just going around you when you're walking about. Really well themed. Like I love a well themed theme park. You know, it doesn't look like they've just thrown it together. It was really well laid out and visually very nice.
And the world's fastest coaster is there, called what is it called?
Rosso.
Rossa, yeah, Rosso.
What's it called? Furiosa.
Furiosa. And
Have we got that right? Is
no,
it?
we'll go with that. And fucking hell, it's fast.
240 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, it's really fucking fast. And you think that isn't even the fastest, you know, Lamborghini can go up to 225 miles an hour, and I think that's like 140 miles an hour or something. So I thought, well, that's going to be fast, but it's still not the fastest car, so it can't be that bad. You get given goggles. You get given goggles. I tied up my hair because I thought I don't want that going everywhere. And, oh my God.
Well, it whipped your bubble out, didn't it?
Oh yeah, my bubble. I felt like a pulling on my head. I'm like, oh my God, what is that? And yeah, it literally, I'd done it tight, and it managed to. It went that fast. It loosened my bubble that was tight, and it whipped it off, which was pretty nuts.
Yeah.
And yeah, I for me it was too fast.
It was totally too fast.
It was like. For the first, because you obviously it starts with you there, and then you obviously go fast straight away, right? That's when it happens. That's the big straight, and then there's a couple of nice slower, you know, parts to it. But like the first quarter of us getting up to speed, I go, oh, this is fun, and then the next quarter, I went, oh, this is fast now. Okay, I'm sure it's going to stop now. Then the second half of that straight, I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
I was like. My head was like, oh, this is a bit much. Oh, I found it a bit too fast. It was like, oh, this is a bit scary.
Yeah, because like you'd expect that it'd slow. Like you just said, most roller coasters they have like that peak speed, and then like, you know, if you turn a corner or like you go up a bit, it kind of slows down. You feel like you're suspended in the air, and then it picks back up. But it was just, it started and it stopped, and it was fast in the middle, and that was it. Like
Yeah.
From the moment you go, and it has like the red light, and then it goes green, and then you go, and you think, okay, you know, when I hit this corner or whatever, no, it does not slow down. And something I wasn't expecting was how loud it was.
Oh yeah, it was very loud. It was
Really,
like really loud.
I was worried about my hearing because it, like, you know, like I was really worried at the impact because it was just so fast. Outrageously fast. And what's funny is, like, we queued for just over an hour, I think, so it wasn't too bad. We'll get onto the queuing systems in a moment and how bonkers they are.
God, yeah.
But we also then, when we got to the front, we were like, can we sit on the front row? And there was a separate smaller queue, and there were only like a handful of people waiting.
Yeah.
Should if you wait there, there's about, you know, 5 or 6 more cycles, and I don't even think it was that in the end.
No, a couple of. Lovely.
Yeah, so we waited, and then they brought us back to the main queue, you know, and you stand like in line for, you know, row 1, row 2, row 3. So we were stood in row 1, and there was a kid on row 2, and like, I don't know what he was saying, but he was kind of like looking and like saying, the front, something like that to us. And you're like, oh, yeah. And then when the gates opened, the kid swiped to the side and went and sat on the front row, didn't he?
Cheeky fuck.
And you were like, no. And he's like, please. And you're like, no, jog on.
I told him to basically jog. No
But
chance.
they could have waited an extra 10 minutes for the front row.
There was no one behind us. He would have waited one go. Like, he didn't, yeah.
Yeah.
But, bugger off. I'm happy we did the front because you get the full experience, don't you?
Yeah, the full terrifying experience.
But it was intense, and everyone's always like
Formula Rosa.
There we go. Yeah. And I was. I'll be honest. I was a bit shook up after it.
Yeah, likewise. It was like, because we were watching people coming off and they were all smiling like, oh, it must be really good. But I think that it was probably like their faces just went that way and then they couldn't move.
Exactly, yeah. It was just frozen in time, and like that. I was a bit shook up for a good 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm happy I did it, but I couldn't do it again. It was just a bit too much for me. But I would do the Velocicoaster again because that was sick.
Well, I didn't like in Universal Studios Orlando.
That's my favourite roller coaster. It does go a bit too fast and it is a bit intense, but if you do it at night,
but you only have a lap bar.
Really cool.
You only have a lap bar and it goes upside down. You don't have like the shoulder bars.
Oh, do you not?
No, do you not remember that? Like it literally just goes over your lap. So I thought, it's not going to be that bad.
I couldn't do it because I've done one of them since and I hated it.
Why did you do that?
I don't know. We've spoken about it. I don't like ones that go upside down. They don't have something that comes over your shoulders.
Yeah, that's the only one I bet it was the Universal Studios in Japan, the one I won't go on with you.
Yeah, I did it and I was like, I can't. It feels too unnerving.
Yeah, it was because we went on it in the dark as well, and that speeds up mid-coaster. So like you think you're going fast enough and then it speeds up. So it is a cool roller coaster, but I hate it. It's
very cool. And there's like, do it at night is cool because there's like effects and obviously the rap. It's really cool.
Yeah. That was a good ride, and then we only managed to get on one other ride in. I
think we did. We did two. Did we do three? No, we did two.
Just the soaring style one, didn't we?
Yeah.
So there's one that's like if you've been on soaring in Disney World, or Disney in all of the Disneys, I think. It's kind of like that where you go up into the sky and it feels like you're floating and it looks like you're flying over Italy and following the path of a Ferrari. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, it was a short wait time for that one, but it ended up being...
Not.
No, officially it was a short wait time, but it actually took a long time to get on it because of the inefficiency of the staff, which is what I would say was an overriding theme for...
Yeah,
Ferrari.
The entire workforce of Formula Rossa, bar the last person that we met.
Yeah, the woman, she was great.
No, it was a guy. The guy that we met as we left.
As we left?
The one who gave us all the recommendations about Abu Dhabi.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant of the ride Formula Rossa, the woman who gave us the goggles.
Oh, right.
She was pleasant.
Well, that shows you the level of incompetence. The only person who was able to figure out that job was the person who had just to hand out goggles. But the level of competence was just... Well, it might have not even been competence. I just think people didn't give a... I just think people just didn't care. Mm-hmm. And that's a real shame. You know, for such a well-respected brand that is known for luxury and quality and being absolutely at the front of the best in its space, and seen as the highest standard. Like it's in such a high standard. If Ferrari bought a restaurant, you'd think it'd be like a Michelin star restaurant.
Yeah.
Like they've got that feel to the brand. It is of class.
Yeah.
It's not just a solid car company. It's of class, which is an interesting thing to attach to a driving brand. But the staff would just, whether it's incompetence, didn't care, a blend of two, were just awful. They were all just, they didn't know what they were doing. They couldn't figure out how to tell people to queue. They couldn't get people on the ride fast enough. They didn't do anything right. They couldn't update you on anything. If you asked them any questions, it wasn't their responsibility, which is something I think we noticed of the Middle East quite quickly.
Yeah.
That
inability to accept
responsibility. In the UK, if you ask something, to a restaurant, someone in the restaurant, a waiter, or in a theme park, whatever, they'll go, "I'm not sure on that, but don't worry, I'm going to go find out for you." In Dubai, when we asked that, if it wasn't in their job role when they signed that contract, that isn't my role.
Yeah, why are you asking me?
Why are you asking me? That isn't my role. I cannot answer those questions. You'll need to go to this place to find this person and speak to them to ask them that question.
Yeah, but also that wasn't even just like locals though. Like, when we picked up your T-shirt for your run, I think she was German. She's like,
"Oh, she I
don't know.
Paid me right off.
We're just here as the promotion team." Well, what you're promoting, like, look on the web. You asked her a basic question is, "What's the starting point?" Well, it's on the website. Yeah, but I'm asking you where it. Or if you just look on the website. Yeah, but can you tell me where should I get the taxi to? Just look on the website. Just tell me the answer.
And they were, just to be clear, they were the information hub for Dubai Marathon.
Literally, we're under the sign saying information.
Literally said information, and I just said, "How do I get there?" And she said, "The website. I don't know. I have to tell." I was like, "How do you not know?"
Like, just tell me the address.
I was like, how could you not know? Like, I was so confused. Yeah, so... Yeah, you're right. We noticed that quite a bit around Dubai, but you're right. It wasn't strict to a nationality.
Yeah.
So I don't know what then you can categorise that is. It was a mix of nationality. That is fair, because we had some funny ones. The funniest one was in Warner Brothers.
Oh god, yeah. So Warner Brothers, after Ferrari World, we walked over to Warner Brothers. Took 15 minutes. It's great, and we ended up spending most of the day in Ferrari World.
We were in Ferrari World for about 5 hours. Got on 2 rides.
Yeah.
In Warner Brothers, we were in there for 2 hours.
Yeah, and got on 5 rides.
Did we go on 5 rides?
I think we did,
went on 5 rides.
So, like, the opposite amount.
Plus, we walked around the entire thing, and it's like twice the size.
Yeah. So that just shows you the level of efficiency between us. So Warner Brothers World was a much more pleasant customer experience.
It's better in every way. If you're trying to choose between, go Warner Brothers.
100%, yeah. Like, it's really well themed. Like, you get to see Tweety Pie.
Yeah.
There's the Scooby Gangs, Mystery Machine. The rides are really good as well.
Yeah, rides are great. That you think, because for me, I like to go on big rides. I'm allowed to like big rides, but I was impressed. Yeah. Whilst they were smaller, they were very creative.
Well, I feel like I was smiling on all of them. Like on the Scooby-Doo ride, and the ride we went on at the end, like the roller coaster one in like the western part. They were great. But when we were queuing to get on the Riddler ride, which broke down right before we were about to get on it.
Right. And we had already faced a broken down ride in Ferrari World.
That was so frustrating. Would have been the third ride, wouldn't it?
That would have been the third ride, and we were waiting in the queue for like nearly an hour, and we just gave up.
Yeah. And people were trying to push by us, and we were like, no. For one, the queue stopped, and 2, we've been here an hour.
Yeah, and there was,
Like, oh, please, our friends are there. I was like, well, tell them to come to you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Because it weren't even like it was one of it. Like, if it was one person on their own, I'd be like, yeah, sure, of course. Even 2 maybe, but it was like 6 people. I was like, no, you're not going through teammates.
Yeah, get stuffed.
But anyway, so we're queuing to get on the Riddler ride. It breaks down. Literally, people are on the ride looking at us, and it's kind of like a spinning.
That was my favourite ride. That
it was great.
Yeah, it was a roller coaster, but it was a huge, like you said, a huge spinning disc. It was, but it didn't make you feel well. If you probably went on it twice, it'd make you feel sick, but it was all right.
Yeah, like it looks like it'd make you dizzy, but it didn't really, did it?
It was really, I'd give it a go.
Yeah. But we were right at the front, when it happened. So, like, the ride before us was just about to start. And there was this group of girls, so like probably age 10, like 3 or 4 of them. And when it stopped working, like the girl said to the guy working there, what's happened, when will it start working? And the guy, instead of being like, oh, it happens sometimes, it'll be back up and running anytime, he goes, I don't know. It's not. I just work here. Like, I don't know when it will start working. And then he goes, if you want, I can get my manager, and she can explain to you what will happen. Like,
it's
she's
bizarre.
10 and she asked you a really normal question.
I know, right?
What's happened?
And he was like, do you want me to get her? Do you want me to get it? Shall I get her? She's just there. I can get her for you.
Yeah.
Fuck. I think she was like 5, but I mean,
she was not.
She's like 5 years
She's
old.
10 or 11.
But like, what a mental thing to say. Well, to anyone, but like a freaking 10-year-old.
Yeah, like all it takes is, oh, I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Don't worry about it. It happens sometimes. It'll be back up and running any moment.
Yeah, that's all you have to say.
You know, we've got the team on the way that are coming to have a look at it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, let's see it.
Literally, but it was, would you like me to get my manager to explain the situation to you? To a 10-year-old.
To a 10-year-old. Right, so she just like went quiet and went, oh, okay. He was so bizarre. I thought that was so true of many places we went to. It was odd. I'd not experienced that before, that lack of responsibility. It was like I don't know. I don't know what the driver of that is.
I feel like I've just realised it's the opposite of Japan, where where someone would literally walk you to the other side of the city if you asked them where something was.
They literally would, yeah.
And whereas they're like, they're like, I don't know, go and ask security. I'll go and ask that guy. I'll go and ask.
Yeah, and then you'll get there and they'll say, go ask that guy. It's never like, oh, I'll find it out for you. Oh, actually, I do know. I'll actually.
Annoyingly, I had a similar experience in the last time I went to Disney when I went for Alyssa's birthday in Epcot. I was asking where something was. And they're like, oh, I don't know. I don't normally work in this bit. Okay. So I got ask someone. And same thing, like they just kept fobbing me off to different people.
Well, I think, these theme parks need to... Because one of the... Especially Disney, one of the... was a core principle, isn't there?
The 4 keys. 5 keys now, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, so safety, courtesy, show, and efficiency. Courtesy being the second. So safety is always first. Courtesy, second. Show is like, not breaking the magic. And efficiency being the last one. But so then they've added...
Efficient and courtesy.
Inclusivity, I think, is the 5th one.
So there we go. So, and part of the magic of that is, just doing everything and getting things seen to and making a wonderful experience, and just fobbing people off and not being asked and not passionate about your role, and it really put a dampened experience. Warner Brothers wasn't that bad because we only had that one experience and it was actually quite comical. The rest of Warner Brothers was great. You could tell they'd built theme parks before, but Ferrari World, I wouldn't go again. It's not worth the money.
Yeah, I'm really glad we did it.
I was hyped. And there is another roller coaster I wish we could have gone on, but it broke down because it's the only roller coaster of its kind. It's basically a forward momentum roller coaster, so it has no engine. It just goes on momentum, and apparently it's just like super interactive. It's quite a futuristic one, but it's a shame. But we ticked off the fastest roller coaster in the world. It was a cool experience, but I don't think that. I mean, one of the rides, for fuck's sake, is an arcade. Yeah,
it's like a virtual, not virtual reality, but like Mario Kart, basically.
Yeah, it's just Mario Kart. Oh, but we've got a big screen where you can see everyone on it.
And you can play in real time with a room full of people. But that's it.
Come on, so. If my advice, I wouldn't bother with Ferrari. I don't think it's worth the money. Warner Brothers is absolutely worth it. And the water park, I've not been, but it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it does. It looks great.
Yeah.
So probably, if we were to do a 2, I mean, in fairness, would I spend all day in? I probably wouldn't say that you need all day for Warner Brothers because of how quickly we did.
No, you could do Warner Brothers quite quickly. You wouldn't need to spend there all day.
I'd probably say go to your water park in the morning, have until like 3 o'clock maybe in the water park, and then go over to the Warner Brothers would be, because it shuts at 8.
It doesn't shut up till 8, which is nice and late compared to most.
Yeah.
So there we go. There's our experience. We've been wanting to speak about that for a while, and we've done it.
Smashed it.
We've smashed it. We don't have a travel segment this episode, even though we are in Saudi at the moment. We're not, but we are. But we're not, but we are.
Well, one of us is.
One of us is. The other one's partying with Flowrider. But we'll introduce it on the next one.
Yes.
We thank you for taking a break from your day to get balls deep with us. Until next time, remember, stay ballsy.
Dive deep,
but don't forget your snorkel.
Balls deep.